Hi everyone. In the last video, we start a series where we're going to learn some programming elements. The first of them was if, and today we are going to learn about the for loop. Before we start, I would like to ask if you think this subject is interesting, please click the like button, let a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel. So let's start. The idea behind the for is a loop where a set of commands or a command is going to be executed when a variable goes from an initial value until a final value with a constant step. So to exemplify, let's first make a simple count with 4. So we have to make 4 and the initial value of the variable, the final value after this word through, and after do, we put our comments. In this case, we're just going to print the value of the variable. Then the system shows us the count of 1 to 10. If we want a different step between the numbers, we have to put the word step in there. For example, let's make now a countdown. And in this case, we have to put step and -1, and then do the command we want the program to execute. And then we have a countdown. For can be very interesting to make arithmetic progressions. For example, let's make an arithmetic progression where the first value is 1, the maximum value is not bigger than 50, and the common difference is 2. Then we can make this. There. So we have now our arithmetic progression. It's not interesting to print the values of the arithmetic progression. If we want to use them, one thing that we could do is to store these values in a list. So we can actually make these. So let's first create a empty list, and then let's going to repeat the for command there. And now instead of printing, I'm going to store the values inside this list. And to this, I'm going to use the command end cons that stores values in a list. We have actually seen this command. So if you have not seen the video where we talk about lists, I'm going to put a card here. And there now our list is ready. There is our list. We can, in this case, we can manipulate the elements of the list. For example, if I want to show the 10th element of the list, and I can for example, to determine how many elements there are in the list with the command length. Or we could, for example, sum the elements of the list. And in this case, we could use this command apply. There we have the sum of the list. We can use for also to generate a set of ordered pairs. For example, suppose I have this function, a simple function, and I want to generate a set of ordered pairs when x goes from -1 through 1 with the step of 0.1. Then I could, for example, print the value of x and the value of the function, and we have this. But again, as we did in the arithmetic progression, I could put these values, these ordered pairs, in a list. So we can do this. Let's create again a empty list, and then I'm going to make this. Again, I'm going to use end cons, but differently of what I have done in the arithmetic progression. Instead of storing an element to the list, I'm going to store a pair of values. So I have to put a list in the first entry of end cons, and the second entry is going to be the list where I'm going to store the values. There. Then my list is like this. So it's big, so it's not interesting to show. One thing that we can do with this list is generating the graph using those points. We can compare these points with the function to see if they actually correspond to the function I expect. So I can make this there. So I have the comparison of the points with the function itself. Another thing that we can do with for is to manipulate elements in a predefined list. For example, suppose I have this list that where the numbers are not related to each other. They were actually randomly generated. So if I want to manipulate these numbers, I can use for like this, or there. Then, for example, suppose I want to show the value of the element and its square. There. Then we can have something like this. We can also, one of the commands we can put inside for is if, for example, let's use this list again, and suppose I want to separate the negative elements from the positive ones. I just want to show the negative elements, for example. Then I can make something like this. I put the command if, and then I have to put the condition. In this case, if I is smaller than 0, then I'm going to print it there. Then in this case, I only print the negative values inside the list. Another example with if, suppose we're going to generate the arithmetic progression, the same arithmetic progression again. And in this case, we can make something like this. There. And then in this case, I create the list again. But now what I want to do is to identify which elements in the list are divisible by 3. And in this case, I can put inside do the command if, but Once I'm putting two commands now inside for, I have to put these commands inside curly brackets and separate by comma. So just be careful not to use a semicolon inside for. Then I'm going to add if, and then I'm using this command mod. Remember that mod gives us the rest of the division of the first by the second number. So if this is 0, it means that this number, in this case, is divisible by 3, and then I'm going to put this message. And then we have done two things inside for. The first one was to create the list, and the second one was to identify the elements in the arithmetic progression which are divisible by 3. So this is what I want to show you today. If you think this comment is interesting, please click the like button, let a comment, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.